You already know what it is. Your boy DJ Waffles on the check-in, and you're tuned into the Pattern Room on Rolling Out Live. And I'm here with my special guest, Jay Alexander. I've been waiting for this. Sit down. So now that we got you in the city, I get a chance to talk to you, pick your brain, and let the world know what it is that you got going on right now.
It's all good. I'm glad to be here. Love Atlanta.
Definitely. So tell everybody who you are and your titles as of right now.
Man, Jesus. What? Well,
give us the soft sweet spot for us.
I happen to be one of the co-founders of FUBU.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody ever heard of that.
Maybe, come on.
Maybe, you could live under a rock or something.
Right.
Actually, you know what? I met one person that didn't know, but I could tell why he didn't know.
And why was that?
Because he looked like he didn't know who he was. But long story short is, I'm one of the co-founders of FUBU.
Right.
Started in 1992 with a guy named Damon John. I'm not sure if you ever heard of him either. He was a Shark Tank guy. Right?
Right.
He's the shark, I'm the dolphin.
Okay.
And my other two partners, Carl, Keith.
Right.
So we created something, legacy brand.
Right.
A little something.
So, all right. So let's start there because you do got a lot of stuff going on. Take me to the $6 grand and getting ready to start FUBU.
All right. So basically, let's break it down from the beginning.
Okay.
So I just tell the whole FUBU story.
Okay.
So Damon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Damon's really sharp from day one. Like that guy, I mean, all praises to him. He's like visionary when it comes to his business.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the type of guy that'll sell you, water.
Mm-hmm.
Sell you. He used to actually, to go way back, he used to steal the mirrors from down the block. Right? Like when we was back in kids, he used to steal the mirrors.
You can't get booked for this right now.
And then sell them.
Right.
Right? I used to do a lot of things like that. I used to work at Red Lobster. Long story short, but what happened was he was making some hats, little tie top hats. You basically take a tube, you sew it, and then you kind of tie it at the top, and that was a style way back then, way back like 1990 something. I happened to be coming home from Desert Storm. I went in the military, so I was going to FIT, and I was in an accident in the Navy. And I wanted to get some money out of that.
You're like 50% disabled too, right?
Yeah, 50% disabled.
Okay.
I go to the VA every 2 months. I get a shot in my back. Oh goodness, like that.
And you're still going through that as of right now.
I still go to every 3 months. I get a shot.
Okay.
And I had $6,000 from that. And he was making a hat, and I was like, yo, well. Not the hat, because the hat, who cares? Nobody even cared about that. That wasn't it. But what was it was he had this label, and it was like black and like purple. So it said FUBU. So I'm like, FUBU, what does that mean? I mean, the graphics look nice, because and I was like, what does that mean? He said, for us buyers. And I looked at him like he had 4 heads, like, what? But I saw,
right.
Like all of a sudden, I saw FUBU.
Right.
I mean, I saw it for what it is today, then. And he was like, well, let's start a clothing line. I was like, let's start a clothing line. He's looking like, start a clothing line. We can't do that. Like, we young guys from the block. Like, how are we going to start a clothing line? And I said, all right, well, listen, we don't have no money. We don't have what? I said, I got money. So I had $6,000. I gave him $5,000. And I kept $1,000 and bought some clothes. And that's how FUBU really started.
That's crazy though. See, that's the type of friends I need. Just give me.
Well,
let me give them the money.
Well,
I think they could probably make some. They could probably make some better investments.
Well,
if I give them
you know what's funny? It's like what people don't do. Like nobody here to finance your dreams.
Right.
To be honest.
Right.
You go to the bank. You get an investor. You can do all that. In the end, they're gonna take everything you got.
Right.
Why? Because you don't have it. So you got to invest in yourself. And a lot of people don't invest in themselves. So now, if I do take on some investors, it's on me. I can say, well, listen, I don't like that deal, right? And again, when people always look at us like, oh, you sold FUBU, you did this. No, we never sold anything. We sold rights to Asia and let them use it, so we get paid, per perpetuity forever and ever, amen. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a big word.
we just
yeah,
sit back. You know, that's the big that's the big
forever.
word. Yeah.
If you
that's
ever
the
hear that in the
word.
contract,
Perpetuity.
you mean that means forever.
Ever.
I seen that in one of my contracts.
Right. So, back to the story. So, we wound up, started putting together. We enlisted our friends, Keith, Carl, because actually Carl started with Damien first,
Right.
just making the hats, and they were selling them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came along and said, "Look, this is bigger than what it is. Let me take this to the next level." And then Keith was the other partner. He came along afterwards because he was actually working. He had another job. He was a property manager for some buildings in Manhattan. And after a while, I think something happened with his job, and he left. And he said, "Hey, well, I'll hook up with you guys." So we were just having fun.
Right.
Like, to be honest, it wasn't really about money. It was just about me. It was about just creating clothes because that's what I wanted to do.
Right.
I actually wanted to be a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
And my story is I was working at Macy's,
Mm-hmm.
and I quit because I was the type of guy, very ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to be a buyer. I got the eyes of like the merchandise managers and the VPs, and they were like, "Okay, I like this guy. He comes to work on time." And I used to be at the tie department.
Right.
So I had to put together suits and style everybody that came in, and I don't know if the manager kind of felt some kind of way, like,
right.
You know what I mean, like for me, I don't
Right.
maybe I don't know, but he wound up telling me one day, pulling me in the office and saying, "Hey, well, we found this tie like on the floor, and kind of accused me of trying to steal it."
Wow.
Now, granted, back then, there's a showcase, and I'm sitting behind ties that cost $400.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's even ties that can cost $1,000 with rhinestones on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this tie that he's accusing me of stealing is $9.99 on sale. But with my discount, comes out to like $3.99.
Right.
So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, really? Like, you going to accuse me of stealing a tie that I can buy for $3.99?
Wow.
Now, if you said that, then I'll be like,
right.
"Yo, I understand why you're trying to do it," but I didn't. Actually, I'm trying to steal. I'm trying to move up.
Mm-hmm.
And I quit. And I said, the next time I come back here, I'm selling to you. I'll never step foot in Macy's again.
Right.
Now, the next time I stepped foot in Macy's, we were in the windows of Macy's because we were selling to them.
Wow.
That's the next time I stepped in there.
Wow. So tell me, how did y'all get into the part of like marketing football? Like I said, I know that y'all started hitting like a lot of video sets. Y'all was getting these rappers to actually put it on and stuff like that. How did that work out?
I mean, the way Damon tells the story, we basically had like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 T-shirt samples, right? So we would take that, go to a video set, sit there, and go, "Hey, can you put this on?" Put it on, right? After he finishes, take it off. You go home,
right?
You dry clean it, and you go to another video set.
Wow, that's the
so we were troopers when it came to that. Like and again, now we're in history books, we're in museums, and for all the stuff that we did as far as marketing, it's like legendary. I mean, you didn't even speak about the LL commercial.
Oh yeah, when he did
the Gap.
With the Gap.
Right.
And he did the commercial. He said,
right.
"For us buyers."
For us buyers on the low.
And then the Gap actually pulled the campaign after putting $30 million into.
Well, no, they didn't pull it. They kept it going.
They kept it going.
For
$30 million, and that's what that kind of catapulted y'all.
Yeah, I mean, because think about it. The Gap was the biggest thing since back then. They were huge,
right? And
they wanted to get into our market,
right?
So, but we had a deal with LL. So LL was like, "If you want to deal with me, you gotta deal with them."
Wow.
And they were like, "Fine, okay, all right, no problem." Oh my God, that's a nice rap. That sounds great.
Right.
We were like.
They bought it. Oh my
I'm like,
goodness.
Cool. So after that, we was the first African American, clothing company to have a commercial.
Right.
When someone else was done.
Wow.
And then we commercial business, so we've had 4 or 5 commercials since then.
Yeah, I did a lot of sponsored like a lot of different videos.
A lot of marketing, and it's funny because people call it branding now. I mean, it was branding then, but we were just doing stuff and we were just doing it. Like we would, like if we see somebody doing A, we didn't care what they were doing.
Right.
We just did what we did.
Right.
You know, and I never say that I'm the biggest and the best. It was the best. We were the best marketed brand.
Right.
Because if I'm going to give clout to anybody, I give it to Carcanine. Because he's the forefather of how this all started.
Right.
If it wasn't for Carcanine, then there wouldn't be no doors for anybody else. It's just we took it and took the door off and turned it into.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you a question like this then. So how do you feel about like Gucci giving Dapper Dan like the opportunity to have like a store in Manhattan, and then they actually recognize him for?
No, I mean it's great, but to be honest, he's a bootlegger.
Right. I get that.
I mean,
I get that.
You know, if you really want to put it in facts, I mean,
see, and you know, it's a crazy
haberdashery. Okay, so he was a haberdasher or he was a bootlegger. Either or,
right.
put them together.
Right. And see, my thing about it too is just like when they gave him that position, it's like the stuff that he's making is just like so like no. It's I'm not against it.
Nah,
like
I hear you.
I'm not against it, but I'm just like the New York sign on like the slippers and like the shoes and on the book bag. I'm just like, are they really letting you have like, or is this for the culture? Like they really just trying to make it seem like we know that you did this, we know that you helped boost the sales or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, are you really having creative control? Because the creative control is not like, it's no shots at him. It's just like I'm just looking at it for going in the Gucci store like the other weekend. I'm just like, I don't know if this is like really his thought process. I'm just thinking that they gave him a situation and that is like we'll have some creative control over it. But
well, you know, he had a store.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. So the store is in Harlem. So you go in and you can go by appointment only.
Okay.
And he kind of takes that vibe of back then. You know, I don't know. I want to say he was what 80s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he takes that vibe and kind of sort of twist it for today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, to be honest, some brands people just like because they like.
Right.
And again, it goes back to the marketing thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you market something enough, regardless of what they put out, you're gonna just take it and like it. Just like 9 times out of 10, you hear a song. If you just play it and play it and play it and play it and play it,
and it's just there, you're probably
after a while, somehow you gonna find something to like about it, unless it's just straight garbage. Now, a true fashion person is looking at it as he's just interpreting, and he's like, "Wow, this is nice." Mm-hmm. But you know, people's style. So I'm not gonna wear it.
So let me ask you this: do you wear more FUBU stuff than anything now? Still, that you had you with the company?
Listen, I'm an equal opportunity guy. I wear everything.
Okay.
And I usually wear, to be honest, I usually wear suits. Sometimes people like, yo, you even own jeans?
Right.
Yeah, I got some jeans in the warehouse.
All right. So how did y'all get to a point where everybody was talking about like you guys were actually giving like Asia and like the foreign countries like the rights to like football? What made y'all get to that point?
Well, you gotta understand, overseas is a huge market for everybody.
Right.
Because, you know, there was a time where it's like they just loved anything American.
Mm-hmm.
And so they came to us, and we had like we had stores in Sweden, Japan, China, where else? I mean, the list goes on.
And these stores still open?
Some of them are, some of them not.
Okay.
It's not as big as Africa. Actually, we went to Africa and to open some stores, and we actually went to Nelson Mandela's house because he wanted to thank us.
Wow.
So we went to his house, sat with his family, and he was thanking us for actually, you know, doing that because we're Americans. But there's an affinity for American stuff when it comes to overseas. Wow. So we had, I gotta say, we were one of the biggest, if not the biggest brand, you know, there. So what we do is we give them license to actually use the name.
Right.
But we'd monitor it because we'd have a distributor there, and they would look and make sure everything is good. So we get a check every, you know,
right,
3 months, 6 months, or whatever, depends upon what that deal is. So they pay a royalty. So we get a royalty check. That's what the whole thing's about. So they were giving us the royalties so much, and it was like, well, we might as well just buy the rights and keep it.
Right.
Right? And that's what they tried to do.
Okay.
So we would sell, like, to a distributor, we give them the exclusive rights to actually to have FUBU and to be able to do it.
All right, and so then after that, you guys actually expand into different entities. Now y'all got FUBU Radio.
Man, we didn't have. I mean,
like,
talk about expanding.
Can you explain to me like how, like what else?
You know what? You know what we do.
And what sparked it?
We know what we do, and it's for us by us for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And how we thought was, we want to make. If we like something, then we just make it.
Right.
If we need something, we make it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when music videos was like popping. I mean, that's how we marketed those our little commercials. So now it's not. Now a lot of the rappers started getting their own line. So now they want to wear their own line and not necessarily our line.
Mm-hmm.
So what we had to think about is now, well, how are we going to touch people? So what we do? All right, we start our own television network.
Right.
Okay, so you know what? Radio. All right, so we like music, right? We get our own artists. We start our own record label. Okay, well, how are we gonna get on the radio? Okay, well, we'll start our own radio.
Wow. So y'all just figured out ways that y'all can actually start what it is that you guys need.
But we just do it.
So what's been more profitable for you? Has it been the clothing or like any of the other entities that you've started?
Everything's all relative. I mean, like I said, we don't necessarily look at it as profit because profit's going to come.
Right.
You know, if you're always trying to make $1, you know, it's just not good. You got to just be happy about what you're doing.
So what makes you align with that type of focus? Like, all right, this is what I'm going to do, and then when the money gets here, it'll get here. Like, what makes you stay focused on that path? Like,
it took years to have that focus, to be honest, because we built something so big. I mean, literally, we're in 3 museums.
Wow.
And one of them was overseas. So when you're there, it's not about you. It's bigger than you. So once something becomes bigger than you, you just have to let it go. Like, it's not about the money. It's about the legacy. It's about, again, for us, by us.
So with that being said, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. You're tuned into the Pattern Room on Rolling Out Live. It's your boy DJ Waffles on the check, and we'll be right back. Wow. You already know what it is. Your boy DJ Waffles on the check-in, and you're tuned back into the Pattern Room on Rolling Out Live, and I'm here with my special guest, Jay Alexander. And now that we were talking about the speeding of the process, like trying to get yourself ready to go on, like you say, you being on the tour for
Yeah.
entrepreneurship? Like, how did you get into that?
I wound up going to a convention for the Urban League, and I liked what they were doing. And actually, in New York, I'm the president of the New York State Black Chamber of Commerce. So I do this for a living. I'm on the board of National, and I liked their style, and they were looking the youth group. So there's youth entrepreneurship. And it's kind of weird because it's the demo is 18 to 40. I'm like, okay, youth. Well, am I old then? I'm 48. So
right,
whatever.
Right.
So
Right.
They said, hey, I spoke at a convention and one of the presidents pulled me aside and said, hey, would you like to, speak again? I was like, of course, And I love going out trying to help them because you gotta always give back. And I won't say give back. You gotta pick somebody else up because give back kind of suggests that you took something from somebody. So I'm not saying you want to say I'm giving back.
Right.
I'm just doing what I do. Try to help and bring somebody forward per se. Because they say that the millennials tell me that we didn't help them. We kind of left them stranded.
Right.
I don't necessarily think I left you stranded. I try to grab you if you run away. What am I supposed to do?
Right.
So I have an affinity for really trying to help others, and I've done all I could do. I mean, if I die tomorrow, I'm in a museum. If the ambulance come down right now, they're gonna be like, oh, I know that guy. They may not know everybody else, but they gonna know me.
Yeah, so crazy because I was about to ask you that. I was about to say, like, when you're going, like, what type of legacy do you want to leave behind? Like, because you, like, remember right now you just told me you're 48, you have no kids, you're single. I'm like, what do you want to leave? What do you want to leave behind? What do you want people to know about you? Because, like, you're just on a path of just going, giving, giving. Like, does it get to a point where you want to just relax and be home with, like, a family, a wife and kids, and, like?
Yeah, of course you want to, but I mean, again, I think everybody has a path.
Right.
And I guess, to be spiritual, when God says it's time and that woman comes in my life, then it'll happen. I mean, it's a few times I thought it was, a few times I hoped it was, but again, it just didn't work out. So, I guess because I don't have someone. This is the conversation we needed to have. Because I don't have someone, it's probably I just kind of put all my energy to doing all these other things.
Right. So what type of advice would you give to a young entrepreneur that want to follow the footsteps of you? Like, they want to get into fashion, they want to get into clothing, they want to get into television, they want to do the things that you guys have accomplished. Like, what type of advice do you actually give to those type of guys?
And I'm going to say this, it's going to sound really weird. I wouldn't give them any advice based off of me.
Right.
Why? Because what I did, I'm not saying that someone else can't do, because everyone is different. Like, you have to find it in you. Like, I don't use me to push you. You have to have your own drive. Because to be an entrepreneur, it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Do you think that everybody has the skills to be an entrepreneur?
No.
But when is the point, when do you get to the point where you need to stop and, like, be like, this is what I need to do. I need to be a worker because I can't be a boss. That person has to fight. That person has to, and actually I'm starting a course for that. Okay.
Actually 2-part course. I have a course on entrepreneurship, and you kind of it gives you all the steps to be an entrepreneur. And if you could pass that test, then yes, you could do it. Right? And 2, like, when you want to start a business, you go backwards. You don't go forwards. And my point is, you find out everything that can go wrong. And once you answer all those questions, then you start. I'm actually.
Wow, that's a great way to look at it.
I can say this. I'm actually going to start an entrepreneur. It's actually with Carly Ray from Atlanta. We're getting together, teaming up to do something where we're going to teach people how to open a store.
Okay.
Retail store and online store. So that's another thing I'm going to be doing as well.
Right. Tell us a little bit about the 7 television shows that you have.
Oh my God. We have quite a few reality shows. It's just so many. Okay, so the first one is what's her name? Darn it!
Charlie Baltimore.
Charlie Baltimore. Yes. So
Go.
Charlie Baltimore is the kickoff one.
Mm-hmm.
And we she it's her family because she has two daughters. One is a DJ.
Yeah.
And it's all really kind of really more about the DJ and her daughters and the relationship with her daughters. So that's the kind of the biggest one. The other ones are we have basketball. I'm sorry, not basketball. Boxing wise. So we have Zab Judah's wife and a few other boxing wives. So
okay,
we have that, which is kind of different because they go through a lot, yo.
Right.
Because those guys
are
crazy.
Yeah,
like
I think
the box,
right.
That you got to be crazy.
Right.
So you got to be crazy because if you want to hit somebody in the head, they want to hit you back. Like get beat in the head a couple times, and they go home and they take that anger out on a lot. So
especially
there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, especially.
Right.
Yeah. So and then we have this one show where there's artists. There's a whole bunch of artists, not just artists, but there's other people that don't get credit for what they've done.
Right.
So you kind of have to watch that when it comes out. I don't want to collect a lot of cat off the bag. There's a lot of people that never got credit for what they did and got it stolen.
Right.
So we found a bunch of people that when you, like one woman, when you hear her voice, you're like, that sounds just like, and she got her song stolen.
So is it better, so do you come up with these concepts or do people actually come to you with these concepts and you be like, all right, now this makes sense, I'll put something in on it to make it actually happen? Or
you just gotta, no, it's almost like I executive produce, but you just know the culture. I have a partner, his name is Roberto Rush, and actually he was, I guess I could say it, I don't know, I don't know if he wants me to not say it, but he was the one in the original, his original concept was the start of pretty much all these reality shows. Okay. So Love and Hip Hop was his creation. Wow. They just kind of changed it around and flipped it a little bit, when it got to the.
So is he gonna be on that show?
Oh no, he's not gonna be on the show.
Right, because I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like,
he was the original creator. It was called something else, and they kind of flipped it a little bit, and in turn, he had a little fight with them because him and Mona were they wound up being partners in the end. Wow. Then he left, and now he's my partner. Wow. So you already know. You already got the sauce. So I got the sauce. I got the engine.
In on the action.
Yeah. So he's he's all money. He's like all money. So and then again, I've been around the world. So I know what we want.
So what's the best way for an entrepreneur to approach you to actually like they need your help?
Instagram. You can always hit me. Like I'm an open book. But what I dislike. What I dislike is you not listening. Or even more than that is I'm not doing your work for you. Once I have to do the work, what happened is you say, hey, I want to start a water company. All right. I know some people that know some people. All right. So I can help you. I'll help you. And I'll hook you up and I'll label and such and such. But then all of a sudden I start doing all the work. Right. Where they do that at? Right. So after a while, or if I tell you something and you're not actually doing it, right? Because then you're gonna blame it on me when it doesn't work. Because a lot of times when people have this fixation on what they want to do, right? And a lot of times they don't really know. Now I just happen to have experience and expertise and everything. Shit, we had car rims. At one time, yeah, we did. Right. So if I'm going to tell you something, I'm telling you from based off my knowledge. Right. And my word is bond. So listen. But sometimes people get so focused on what they think they want to do, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, listen, all right, so fine, you do it your way, you got to do it, fine, go ahead. And then I listen, they'll pay me, and I'll say, listen, I don't want any more money, I'm good. Wow. And I cut it short.
Is there anything in life that you want to accomplish that you haven't accomplished yet?
I guess that goes back to the family part. Because I haven't accomplished that.
How about we take you speed dating or some shit like that?
Man, go ahead, man.
I'm just saying, we go speed dating, take a boy out there, I'm saying.
Yeah, man. Actually, I have 2 goddaughters.
Right.
So that's like my
Magnets.
That's like my thing. So
right.
I feel like if maybe like when I get 800.
I ain't about to play with him.
Nobody's
reaching 800.
They'll be like, all right, I hope you get downstairs for all of you.
Oh my goodness.
But
But you definitely do.
Sorry out here for a pimp.
See, that's probably the situation. That's what's not being said. See, we done got through all the good stuff.
Nah. That was a joke, man. Come on.
No. That's the media training. He's like, nah, it's waffles.
No. Honestly.
What's your type though?
I like a worker. Right. I like somebody a businesswoman. I like somebody that's driven. Because in the end, I want that for my kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My daughter. I don't want my daughter to be like looking at another man.
Right.
For what he's gonna provide for her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want her to be like,
We take your applications on the pattern room.
Same.
So all y'all watching right now, ladies, slide in this DM now. We gonna make something happen. So listen, while you're here, since you just got to Atlanta, what else do you have here to do while you're here?
Yeah, I'm doing the We Buy Black conference.
Okay.
Which is tomorrow. Was it Thursday? Thursday? So Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm going to speak there.
Okay, dope.
I think both days.
Okay.
So again, entrepreneurship, just helping, trying to bring us up. I mean, because in the end, we need generational wealth.
Right. Definitely, I agree.
I mean, and a lot of times, and it doesn't start. It starts with us, but because generations. I was saying this the other day, and I said, what I make today, it's not for me.
Right.
It's for, down the line.
Right.
And we all will have to understand that. Like, everybody's about for self, and they only care about themselves. And that's why we don't have generational wealth like we do. I mean, in some cases we do, but not.
How do you break the mold of a person that you think that's selfish? Like, what do you do? Like, if you're mentoring somebody that they just have like, it's not like selfish, like blatant like selfish, but the things that they do is more so they're concerned about their self, and they're really not thinking about everybody else. How do you mentor somebody out of those types of states? If that's the right question.
It's very hard, and it takes a lot of time.
Right.
Because to be honest, a lot of people are actually narcissists.
Mm-hmm.
They have narcissistic qualities. A lot of them. A lot of people, you wouldn't even know it. And that comes from mothers and fathers not kind of being around, or the mother not really being around, working and doing other things, and then the baby doesn't never get attached to the mom. It's, long story short, there's a whole science behind it. So some people you can't help because they're wired wrong. It's nothing you can do about it. And then the other people that you can help, you just gotta kill them with what you gotta want better for, not just for you, but better for others.
Right.
Because you'll never get to the level you want to be at unless you bring somebody else up. And if you do get to that point, if you don't give back, you're gonna lose it all.
Wow.
And I hate that. Like again, I said I hate that word "give back," but in this case, you have to say "give back" because most times there are people that are selfish. So if you're selfish, you have to give back. Because you just been raping the culture or raping everybody else just to get you money.
Wow. That was the piece that we need to roll on. So listen, man, let everybody know how they can follow you on social media.
Oh, man.
If they want to do some business.
You know what? My website isjalexandermartin.com, but it's spelled J, the letter J, Alexander, MARTIN.com. Or if you just want to go straight to forgetting about that and go to Instagram, it's A Fashion Mind, the letter A Fashion MIND. Hit me in a DM, whatever, however you want to do it.
Yeah, ladies, hit them on the DMs.
Here we go.
I'm just saying. Listen,
here we go.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at my clock. I'm like, yo, listen, we about to find somebody for my guy, but he's not looking, but he's gonna find. Because I just know when you do, I just know you're gonna be so happy because it's like now is like
Yeah,
as much
it's
you
supposed to
you have
compete
for
you.
yourself,
It's
right?
supposed to
Exactly.
compete you.
Now everything's like full
Because you never
circle.
get you. But in that case, you're supposed to get ahead. Because that woman that's by your side is like, yo, I don't know about that. I don't know about him. I don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's the.
It's like a balance for you.
It's like a balance for you. So
Right.
you know.
Definitely.
So you just running, and that woman's gonna sit there and say, "Come here, babe, just sit down and relax. I got you."
Y'all already know the type you're looking for. This your boy DJ Waffles on the Check It. Make sure y'all tune in next week to Love and Jay Alexander on
Oh, here we go.
podcast.
We're gonna turn it to Love and Hip Hop Jay, right? Love and Fashion, whatever.
Nah, make sure y'all subscribe below.
Hey,
man.
Mona, let's partner on that.
Make sure y'all subscribe below, man. Make sure y'all stay locked in. Next Tuesday, y'all know this was a Thursday, but make sure next Tuesday y'all locked in 7:30, same place, same time. It's your boy DJ Waffles. Make sure y'all follow 2+1 Agency and y'all follow me on Instagram at DJ_Waffles8. Bow. We wrapped.
Yo, wow.
Now I sound desperate.
This week on The Kitchen.
Yeah. Yo. Hold up. Tune in. Alright.
We got Trans Lee.
I just wanna answer what y'all asking.
We got Gray.